guys doing? Late? That's all right, I think. My apologies. Poor Conservative's already here. What's up, man? I'm glad you made it in today. Move this thing a little bit here. All right. Yep, like I said, sorry about the delay. Had to, we got this school thing going on here, so had to get the kiddos settled into school, but it's all right. We're here to hang out for a little while. So what are you guys working on? What's going on? How are things going in your world? I hope everything's going great. Hope you're all healthy and safe and all that stuff. Hope you got time to get out in your shop and work on some stuff. So that being said, what are you guys working on? Let's chat. Let's hang out like we do. Talk about things, shop, projects, life. Anyway, right on, guys. So thank you. You guys are popping in here. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to hang out in a home built workshop for a little while. Poor Conservative says, building a few knives. Nice. Yep, that is still on my list of things that I want to do. And I just haven't done it yet. Really, I'm slacking on that. There's a lot of things on my list that I haven't quite got to yet, but that's all right. It will happen. I will get to knives. Sandra's here. Sandra says, good morning. Well, good morning, Sandra. I hope you are doing great today. All right, so let's see. What is going on here around the shop? Well, I have been fully immersed in learning Fusion 360. I've put it off for a really long time. Not intentionally, but I just didn't feel the need for it. But I finally decided to jump in and spend quite a bit of time, invest the time to learn that piece of software. And so far, it's going pretty good, but we still got a long ways to go. But that's what I've been working on. Learning a new piece of software. It's going to come in handy, I think, really, once you get through the whole learning process. Obviously for modeling things, but we also got a 3D printer coming our way. So that's going to be another thing. You guys get the inside scoop on that. That's not that it's a secret or anything, but yeah, it's going to be cool. I got some things in mind that I want to be able to do with that. And actually, it relates to that guitar neck jig that I just did last weekend. I want to make some pieces for that, but I got to be able to model it before I can print them. So it's like a multi-step process to get to where I want to go. All right, let's see. See, Dick Builds here says adding heaters to garage. It will be cold in Peyton this weekend. Yes, it is supposed to be cold this weekend. Yep. Not too bad the last few days, though. Man, I'll take this. So I think today's the last of our nice days. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't follow the weather too much, but just barely enough to kind of know what's going on. Right now, it's nice in here. The temperature's we're like 40-something degrees. A little bit of heat on just to take the chill off. I like it. It's supposed to be nice also today. We're supposed to be 50s, in the 50s, I think. So we'll definitely get some outside time in between school stuff. Epperson's here, says top of the morning, current role, today teacher. Me too, buddy. Me too. That was I was a couple minutes late because I don't know about your guys' school setup, but ours, it's really structured. There's times that we're working on this lesson. Well, not us, but the Zoom calls and all that sort of thing. 9 o'clock begins. 9 o'clock is the time that they're supposed to be back on after a not really a break, but after a certain assignment that they do off the computer. So I like to try to be there to make sure that everything, there's no issues getting logged back on and that sort of thing. So right now, she's doing school stuff for a little while, and then she'll be on break for the second half of this. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Juggling, that's what it is. It's just a juggling thing. we've got to balance. At least for me, I've got to balance my time out here with school stuff and kind of work on projects in little bite-sized chunks instead of being able to work on it all morning or all day or whatever. It's little chunks. But that's all right. We still get some stuff done. I don't mind it. It's just a readjustment, really. Pork Conservator says also listing cool Christmas deals for the handy folk on IG. I'm gonna have to check that out. You've probably noticed, I haven't been as active on Instagram the last few weeks, and really, that's honestly, I really can't juggle all those things at once. To maintain posting every day and that sort of thing while trying to do projects and while trying to help with school stuff and while trying to edit videos and all that sort of thing. It's just something's got to give a little bit, and unfortunately, that had to that has kind of been what's taken a little bit of a backseat. I still try to get on. I still try to post some things, but a while back my goal was to try to post every day. Some sort of a update, but it's just right now it's just challenging. Let's see. Caps Lock. I'm at work, so I can't stay. Just wanted to drop in and say hi. Right on. Well, I'm glad you're able to stop by. I hope your day at work is going awesome. And I wish you the best. I hope the rest of your day continues to be amazing. And thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Kevin says, hi, Jeff. Just in from my workshop myself, turning some pens. Busy, busy, busy. Right on. Yeah, one of these days I want to try pen turning. I do. I need to get one of them little lathes because I don't currently have one. But nice. Donna's here. Good morning, all, says Donna. Good morning, Donna. Hope your day is going great. Harry Dude, what's up? Hello, all. Scenic Build, agreed. It has been beautiful. It has. Gina's here. Howdy, y'all. Well, howdy. How do you do this fine day? Glad you're able to make it in here. Bruce says, you've made guitars. Why not try a snare drum using a stage shell? I heard a noise out there. I don't know what that was. There's the propane delivery guy. That would be... Oh, stave shell. Gotcha. Yes. I've thought about that. I've seen... there's a guy that lives an hour away from me, and he builds snare drums. And some of them it's just awesome. It really is. They're really cool. Do you ever have those projects that you could do, but it almost seems out of reach? Right. If I've built a guitar, you should be able to take some, make some snare drum staves and put it together. But for some reason, it seems beyond me. That's not the case, but, maybe one of these days I might try it. Poor Conservator says, "Got to do what you got to do." Yeah, that's what I say. But yeah, I can't do everything as much as I like to believe I can. Poor Conservative, your wife is monkeying around. Monkey, yeah, there's a monkey there. Always monkeying around. Giovanni's here. Hello, Giovanni. Giovanni says, "Super, super, thumbs up." Bam, double thumbs up to you, my friend. Listen, there's a lot of changes in this schooling since I was in school. Yeah, me too. One thing. One thing that I had to help with this specifically yesterday, and it's not just yesterday, but one challenge that I had in school was math. Right, I don't like math, and we were working on a math assignment, or Haley was working on a math assignment yesterday, and she needed some help. And at while the teacher was on, I had headphones on, and I was listening to I was doing a course through Fusion 360, so I wasn't really listening to the way the teacher was instructing, was teaching them to do this math problem. Well, after the lesson was over, Haley was going through the work, and she kind of got stuck and asked me for help. So, you know, when I was helping her, that was my what I told her was, I don't know the exact way the teacher's telling you to do it, right? But I know it was different than what I know, and I told her, I'm like, look, you're gonna get the right answer. I just don't know if I'm showing you the same way the teacher is, and but so we went through it. She got it, everything. She got 100% on this worksheet she was working on, and she did go in and talk to the teacher, and just we did it this way, and the teacher was totally cool with it. But I know what you mean. It was a different method. Thankfully, they don't do the Common Core at her school, so I'm thankful for that. But they do have different ways of teaching it. Not that it's wrong or right, it's just different. Alrighty, let's see. Giovanni says, "Are you cold?" Not too bad right now. It's actually pretty nice. I probably don't even need this sweatshirt on. Gina, shh. Poor Conservative says they're expensive to build and tough to get the money back. On a snare drum, it would still be a cool project though. Sometimes there's those projects that I just want to do, or that we all, I'm sure, just want to do for the satisfaction of doing it. Whether you get your money back out of it, if that's your intent. Sometimes my intent is to just build something to get that experience, to learn whatever a certain skill is that's involved in that project. And that may be one of those things. It may be one of those that you build, you build one just to say you built one, get that experience, and now you have a really awesome snare drum. I don't know. Again, I'm not speaking from experience on that, but sometimes I know I have projects like that. Do you guys? I'm sure you do. There's just, there's that one thing that that you want to build just for the satisfaction of building it. Maybe it takes a long time. Maybe it takes a lot of some sort of materials. Maybe, whatever. But, and you're not going to get your money back out of that thing. But sometimes to me, that satisfaction of making that thing is better than getting your money back out of it. I don't know. Maybe I misinterpreted that, but Bruce said, I built a shell out of old flooring. It was free. Oh, yeah, see? There you go. Sort of laughing at Gina. Giovanni says, hi, Gina. Bruce says, hardware isn't expensive either. Sort of, I can show you can show me how to build one. Right on, right on. Epperson says, don't get me started on the math. Yeah, I've been very clear with her, with Haley, just saying, I have the same struggles with math. I did not enjoy math, but we're still going to work through it. Because math was probably my weakest subject, and yeah, it was just hard for me. It really, I wasn't engaged in it. Now there was one class that I took that I am so glad I did, and it was a math class. Once I fulfilled, I don't know how it is now, honestly, for high school and that sort of thing, but when I was in high school, you had to take certain math requirements. You had to do the algebra and like the algebra 2 or something like that. And then after that, you could take other ones. You could advance, and do into like, I don't know, like the trigonometry and calculus. I don't even know what the classes were, but but after algebra 1 and 2, I remember you could take whatever other classes you wanted to, whether you wanted to advance or take, other different courses, but you had to complete a couple of certain ones. Once I got those out of the way, which was a challenge, I was allowed to choose the ones I wanted to take. And the first one I chose was called shop math. And honestly, it's stuff that I use now every single day. and like reading micrometers and fractions and all that sort of shop stuff. And that was by far my favoriteest math class. Favoriteest? Apparently I needed to take English too. That was my favorite math class ever. Once I finished that one, I took geometry because to me that seemed easier than the other options I had. And that was a helpful one too, but that shop math class was pretty awesome. But yeah, I help when I try to help whenever I'm needed, whenever, there's some sort of math struggle, although I'm not great at it. Um, and that's what, like I said, I always tell her, like, I don't know how you're taught to do this or how, your instruction is, but here's how we're going to do it and we're going to get the right answer. I mean, I don't know what else to do it. And, not in a negative, I'm not presenting that in any sort of negative way. It's just we're taught differently, and the way she's doing it makes sense to me. I just don't know it. So, I don't know. I'm not mad about it or anything. So, don't. Gina says, I love math. At least I used to. Andrew's here. Andrew says, hey man, thanks. You helped me sharpen my axe. Right on. Right on. I am glad. I'm probably going to need to do mine. I need to check it out. It's been a while. Of course, I haven't used it in a bit, but. Epperson says, me too, Gina, but they seem to teach these kids a long way around to a short answer. I don't know anything about that Common Core stuff. I've heard it's kind of not great, but but I know what you mean. Some of the stuff that I was trying to help with yesterday seemed a long way to get to where we needed to go, and we just did simple math and got the answer. But at least they're learning. It's part of it is I kind of feel kind of the back and forth, a little bit torn on. I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, that's not the way we did it when we were kids, But in a sense, it's kind of the way it is. But I try to accept some of the new teachings, or at least I want to try to understand it, because I don't, if I just am dead set against the new ways, I think it's going to be harder for me to help. But I don't know. I just try to, if I truly don't understand it, I just all right. And I just tell her, I don't know how you're going to do it, but this is how we're going to do it. You're going to get the right answer. Anyway, enough of that math. Sandra says math is part of deductive reasoning. Poor Conservative says, I've built about 20 snares, built a whole 13-piece set for my studio. It's gratifying, but not profitable. Wow. A whole 13-piece drum set. That would be kind of cool. You have to send me a picture of that. Epperson. Southern terms. Favoritist. One that excites me the most. Favoritist. Gina says, Epperson, it's definitely different now. Plus, I can't seem to explain well to others how I get the answers. I definitely do math different than others. Yeah, I don't know. I think I do regular old math, but I don't have any weird tricks or tips or none of that. Donna says, any Christmas ideas? Donna, I have been struggling, honestly, with Christmas ideas. I have a couple ideas, but I don't know if I'm going to get to them this year. At least for video sake. Really just due to time constraints. And I don't like to say that, but I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. But for ideas, let's talk about that. Let's open up that can of worms. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to kind of brainstorm as we go. What are some Christmas gift ideas that you could make in your shop, in your yard, in your kitchen, whatever workspace you have available? What are some great ideas that you could make cheap or free maybe, that you could give to other people. And yeah, let's go. Ready, set, go. Leave it right over here. First thing for me that comes to mind is cutting boards, right? Of course, I've made cutting boards and given them to everybody, so I don't really know anybody right now that needs a cutting board that I can gift them to. But it seems like people always do seem to enjoy some handmade wooden cutting board. So if you haven't gifted everybody cutting boards, there's an idea right there. What else? Christmas tree ornaments, or would always be a good one. And those are kind of fun because you can take like a log and just cut discs and drill a hole. You can paint designs on them. You can laser engrave. You can hand carve. Whatever. Make sure they're dry or they're going to split and crack. But I've done that. What else? We've done some candle holder things in years past for little tea lights or other things like that. Some different ideas there. What else? What do you guys have? There's a napkin holder thing that I'm thinking of. I made one a long time ago. I don't even remember what it was. I think it's some summer camp or something that I want to remake. I want to revisit that. It's a really simple project. That's what I wanted to do this year. Just I don't know if I'm going to get to it. I'm going to try. It may come out after Christmas. I don't know. I don't know. But it's really, really easy. All you really need is a board and a couple dowels. And like 2 cuts, and you can make this napkin holder thing really quick and easy. That's on my list to try to do in December, but I just don't know if I'm going to get to it. What else, guys? What other Christmas ideas? What do you guys think? There's activity out there. So, what do you have? What do you have? Gina says, "Oh, can I order 8 triangle games, please? 8 of them? I better get after it. I gotta have to make some more here real quick. I think we have a few left. I think we have 3 left right now. Do you need 8? You don't need 8. Do you really need 8? Ron's beer reviews. Nice. Small shelving for small knickknacks. Yeah. Is that what you're working on, or is that your Christmas gift idea? Because that would be cool too. Little shelves. Who doesn't need a little shelf? A little knickknack shelf to put stuff. Epperson, cutting boards, coasters, cheese boards, coasters. Good call. Forgot about that. I made them a year ago, 2 years ago. Coasters. Yep. Coasters are a good one. I'm trying to think. Picture frames. There's one. Do some picture frames. Maybe put a family picture in there. Make a handmade picture frame with a family picture. That'd be a good one to give somebody. What else? What other Christmas ideas? If anybody sews, if you sew, a custom Christmas tree skirt comes to mind. Mainly because that we have one that my mom gave us, made up and gave us a Christmas tree skirt. What else? What else? What else? Doesn't have to be wood, guys. Think of other things. Some other ideas. We'll help each other out. Leather. How about a leather project? Leather pouch, leather bag, leather wallet. I use mine all the time. Ron's Beer says small Christmas painted Santas for the front lawn. Ooh, like yeah, that'd be kind of cool. From Dowels, make Christmas candles. Do you turn it? How would you do that? Candles out of dowels. I would like more information on that. Donna says, I take old silverware and a pair of pliers and bend forks and use my drill press to drill out holes in them and make wind chimes using fish line. Oh, I've seen stuff like that. My grandpa made a fork wind chime a long time ago. Oh, you got a drill press too? Wasn't that one of your wish list items? So it sounds like you got one. So awesome. Yeah, the fork wind chimes. I remember my grandpa had one. Actually, probably made a few of them, and had them hanging outside. Yes, awesome. I'd forgotten about that. Thanks for mentioning that, because cool idea. Sandra, triangle game. Ooh, nice. Yeah, see? Hours of fun for anyone. Oh, there's the tagline for it. Hours of fun for anyone. I'm going to put that on my website. Gina says yes. Huh? Oh, Gina, Haley loves the tree skirt. Yes, she does. Paintings and baked goods. More suggestions. Sandra, belts. Yes. See? Gina says, ooh, make Haley a belt. She does need a belt. Yeah, see, there's all kinds of stuff. And that's the hard part. You know, when we have the capabilities of working in all kinds of different mediums, you know, it's not just wood. It's making something out of pretty much anything. I know I tend to get stuck with thinking, okay, wood, a wooden something. But I try to remind myself, reel it back in. We have a lot more available to us than just wood. You know, from now I keep getting stuck with leather just because I've been really enjoying working with leather. But there's so many other opportunities to use different mediums. Speaking of leather, I want to show you guys this. I think I mentioned this not too long ago. I recently, look at this guy, finished this guy up. This is my fence repair player, my grab and go fence repair kit. I think I mentioned a week or two ago that I've been having to help, you know, or not having to help, but I've been helping with fixing fence and things for my neighbor because they have cows, and they're always breaking the fence. So if you've ever used these things, there's not really a great way to carry them. You can jam them in your pocket, but that point always pokes you. So I said, you know what? It's time for a leather project. So I'm really happy with the way this thing turned out. It's got a belt clip on the back because I didn't want to have to lace this onto a belt. I wanted to be able to, when I need it, just grab it, clip it on my belt, run out, make whatever repair necessary, and yeah, really, really happy with this thing. So be on the lookout for this in an upcoming video. But another reason I think leather is on my brain because I just finished this up. So yes, a belt would be pretty cool. Adonna said yes, Black Friday sale. Score. Nice. Can't beat that. Drill press on Black Friday. Ron's beer review. From all these branches that I have falling out of trees from wind or snow, many wooden things can be made. Ron says, what state do you live in? I'm in Mass. I am in Colorado. Massachusetts. That's awesome. I have family near the Boston area, specifically the Brockton area. So it's been a long time since I've been up there. Of course, I grew up in Pennsylvania, in northeast Pennsylvania, basically. And so it wasn't all that far of a drive. You know, what, I don't know, remember, 5 hours, I don't know. Yeah, I want to get back up there, Massachusetts. Sandra says, leather stamping was a hobby as a young girl. It was fun to make bags, wallets, etc. Yeah, I've done a little bit of that. I used to be in Boy Scouts, and I did some classes. Did some classes on leather at some of the different camps. I used to go to camp, you know, week-long camps and stuff like that, and we would do leather. One of them was like a tooling and stamping thing. And I specifically remember this one because my best friend sliced the heck out of his finger. I don't remember exactly. I don't know if it was a chisel or some sort of a leather carving gouge, or if it was a knife or what. But I remember we were doing the leather something, and he sliced his finger really bad. But yeah, the tooling and stuff is really cool. I haven't done any of that in a long time. I don't have any of the stamps and things, but every time we go to our local leather place, it's fun to play with all the little tooling stamps. I might have to get some at some point. Right now, I'm doing stuff like this, making custom pouches and really just working on my punching, stitching, and all that kind of thing. But maybe one of these days I'll get into some tooling. Jeremiah says, let's build some guitars. Panama City Beach, Florida, in the building. What's up, dude? Yeah, I gotta get on some guitars. I've got a couple bodies started. I've got the Neck Jig that I just finished up last weekend. Doing a little bit of fine tuning and stuff to that, getting everything kind of fine tuned. And my goal, hopefully, I keep saying it, I'm going to build more guitars next year. But that was my goal for this year. And then, well, this year happened, and that kind of got turned around a little bit. But that's okay. We got some done. Next year, I hope to do more. Pork Conservative says, YouTube hates me. What'd you get kicked off? A Pork Conservative says, cutting boards and chef knife sets are my main thing this time of year. Ooh. Knife holder, a knife block. That's another project idea. I've seen some homemade ones of those. Ron's beer review says, seems all these guys that were in Boy Scouts goes on to do many crafts and bush camping. Yeah, and it kind of sets the stage for things later on, really. Whether you feel like it did or not, when you start thinking about it, there's a lot of times right now. Oh yeah, I remember doing this thing in Boy Scouts, way back whenever. And yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it's, it instilled some good skills early on. Jeremiah, hello. I love the CBGs you made. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I've got a demo video for the last one I did with the amp. I got to get that edited. I keep meaning to get to that thing, but I haven't got to it yet. Slacking. It really, as far as gifts go, I mean, whatever you can make to give somebody, honestly, is for me, speaking from myself, if someone makes me something and gives it to me because they made this thing for me, I don't really care what it is, honestly. It can be just a little a block of wood with some holes drilled in it to hold some pencils. Pencil holders, there's an idea. You know what I mean? But just a simple something, right? Like this dude, this little fish guy. The alien I did these guys. It's you cut it out and drill some holes. But I use them all the time. He's all dusty, but just simple things like that. I think most people are gonna look at that and go, "That's awesome! You made that for me," and they're gonna like it. You know what I mean? Most of the time. I mean, you may have some weird, some people that wouldn't appreciate it, but honestly, I don't know. I think overall, if you hand make something for somebody, no matter what it is, they're gonna enjoy it. Ron says, guitar making, a big dream of mine. Well, dude, you can do it. I'm telling you. Just take some time, jump into it slowly. Build a cigar box guitar. Get a kit. My first guitar was I made the body and I bolted everything else on it. I didn't make the neck or anything. Jump into it in steps. Uh-oh. Ron's, I hear your wife calling for breakfast. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in, man. Merry Christmas. Enjoy breakfast. That sounds good. nice. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, gifts. Good, the gifts. Yes, pencil holders. I mean, you know what I mean. Hand make something for somebody, and if they truly don't appreciate it, it's my 2 cents here. If they truly don't appreciate it, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, current projects. What is going on around Home Built Workshop? Well, like this one, this guy was the one that I just recently finished. That one is in the video editing stage. Oh, we also had we had to do an emergency repair on a hollow core door. So be on the lookout for that because we made a little video out of it. Just a real quick repair showing you how I am fixing stripped out screw holes. We had a towel bar on a hollow core door that, well, got ripped down somehow. Someone thought it was like a set of monkey bars or something, I think. But anyway, that got ripped off the wall. It was not held on with anchors, and it got ripped off. It just had screws run right through it. So, kind of took a few minutes, patched it up, glued in some dowel, just to fill the hole. I mean, yes, you could spackle or whatever in there, but I like to try to use wood. So I glued in a little piece of skewer. We filled over it, and now we're going to reattach using the correct anchors. But that's going to be out this weekend. And I've mentioned it before. This is one of those projects that just keeps getting moved. When I built my little buffer, man, I'm like 2 years ago probably, I got this little buff rake thing. But I purposely ordered this one without the handle because I wanted to make the handle. And for 2 years, I've been moving this thing from place to place to place because it's in my way. And I know for a fact I've mentioned this, I don't know how many times, that I'm going to get to working on it. But I never get to working on it. So now it's time to get to working on it. I'm going to use this piece of elm. We're going to get it dimensioned down. We're going to cut it. It's going to be super easy, but it's going to be one of those check marks off my list, and I don't have to keep moving this thing. So that's what I'm going to be doing here probably over the next couple of days when I have time, and going to get that done. As well as, I mentioned we got the 3D printer coming. It's not here yet. When it does get here, we're going to just do an unpacking and set up, that sort of thing. Just to kind of get it up and running, hopefully. And so that's kind of a few of the projects that I have coming up. I don't know exactly what order these are going to drop in, but that's kind of what's on the plate at the moment. All the while, do you guys ever have projects that seem to tie together? So for me, I built this guitar neck jig, but there's things that I want to change about it, and I think that having a 3D printer, being able to 3D print the pieces, is going to be a cool way to do that. So in order to be able to do that, I also have to learn Fusion. Like I said, I've been working on that. So I've got to learn Fusion to learn the 3D printer, and then to be able to modify this jig the way I want to. So it's kind of a long process to get to where I want to be, but I think in the long run it's gonna be worth the time. So have you guys ever had a project like that where you know what you want to do, but it's like way off in the distance, it seems like? So you have to you have to learn this to learn this to learn this to learn this to be able to do the thing that you want to do. All right, let's see. Speaking of 3D printers, Harry dude, if you're still here, did you ever get yours up and running yet? All right. Let's see. So who exactly, have you guys seen that? Did you guys see the guitar neck jig? Poor Conservative, I know you saw it. What do you think? But have you ever seen somebody use one like that? I definitely think it's going to be awesome once I get it kind of fine tuned. I'm still looking for springs. I'm going to order some to hold the carriage up instead of those bungees that I used in the video. I can't find springs locally. So and the hard part is I want to see a selection so that I can just go in there and kind of see what I'm working on. Do you guys have any good suggestions? How would you buy a spring online when I can't pick it up and go, stretch it to see how strong it is? I don't know how to order from a million different sizes of springs. You guys got any good ideas for that? Harry Dude says, still waiting on the parts from China to fix my printer any day now. What kind of printer? Is it any specific? Like is it a certain brand or something? Sandra says, I'm thankful for you coming live. On my way to Logan, Utah, to Sam's. Must buy food. I wasn't in holiday spirit, but you think. I also from PA. We have a visitor. You gonna say hi to everybody really quick?
Yeah.
Are you on break for a little while?
Yeah, I've got 12 minutes left.
Nice.
I set the timer.
Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
How did your lesson go?
It went okay.
Good. Cool. Right on, kiddo. Yes, you may.
Yay.
We'll be a little bit, just a little bit longer here. We'll wrap it up. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that.
Gotta shake off my sockies.
Yeah, that's what happens when you wear socks outside. Oh, I know, because it takes so long to put on shoes. Hairdo says mine is a ANET A8. I'm not familiar with that brand. I'll have to look at it. Oh, Burnaby! Burnaby's here! Burnaby says, good morning, what's new? Well, my friend, we are just chatting it up. Working on, we got some things going on here, some homeschool. Well, I keep saying homeschool, but it's not really homeschool. It's e-learning, I guess, is what they're calling it these days. And, yeah, but we're kind of juggling time between shop stuff and school stuff with the kiddo, and, same old, same old. Really, that's not what I don't know. We're doing good, man. I hope you're doing good. Harry Dude, ANET A8. I gotta look that up and see what it is. What I'm waiting for. Actually, I kind of got mixed up. So on Black Friday, they had a really good sale on their printers. So I went on and I ordered what I thought was the version 2, because that's the latest version that I wanted. They have other ones, but I wanted the V2. So I ordered the V2 and it shipped out, and I got it delivered, and the box said Ender Pro. I didn't order the Ender Pro, but it was kind of a little bit confusing because some of the pictures showed Ender Pro and some of the pictures showed the version 2 when I was ordering it. So I'm like, well, they just, the web page is screwy or something. But I opened the thing up and it is not the one that I ordered. And so rather than returning it and stuff, I had to go back on, went back and forth with Creality for a minute and ended up ordering a second one to get the version 2 that I actually wanted. So now when that one gets here, I'm going to have the Ender 3 Pro, which I'm going to sell probably because I don't need 2 brand new ones. And the version 2 is the one that I actually want. It's supposed to be quieter and stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. But I'm going to have 2 of them here. So I'm going to have to sell. I say you'll probably sell it now, really, because the other one's shipped. But I'm kind of waiting until the other one gets here. Then I'll just post the Pro locally probably and sell that. So unless anybody wants it, if anybody's interested, not wants, but if anybody is interested in purchasing Ender 3 Pro, I'm at a I didn't want to deal with shipping, but you know, if one of you guys are interested in it, I guess we could work something out. Hair Dude says ANAT AA is a cheap kit printer. Plenty of info online about it. Heaps of printable upgrades available on Thingiverse. That's kind of the thing I'm seeing with the Ender. You know, there, and kind of the reason I wanted to start with that. It's inexpensive, kind of a beginner as far as I'm concerned. Again, I have no experience. I mean, I'm sure it'll do exactly everything I need it to do, but I think it's just going to be a good introductory printer for me to kind of get started, learn how to do some things on it. There's a lot of upgradable parts and things like sounds very similar to the ANAT. So it's going to be cool. I'm kind of excited about it. You know, I've kind of wanted to get into some of this digital fabrication stuff for a little while, and I think this is going to be kind of a fun intro to it. Plus, since I've been working in Fusion, you know, on for the last 2 weeks, I almost feel like Haley's taken an interest to it. Yesterday, she sat in front of it just playing around with making shapes and extruding them and that sort of thing, and I thought that was pretty cool. So she kind of, maybe she'll learn it as well. As I've been telling her all along, you know, if we get this thing, when we get the printer set up, we can pretty much, you know, 3D print whatever we can think of, really, to model up and print it out. Gina, she's long gone, back in the house. All right, guys. We guys got any other questions, comments, suggestions? I'm going to cut this a little bit short today, just because school's going to start back up in about 10 minutes. So we still got some time, but I don't want to hang out with you guys. But questions, comments, suggestions. Now's the time to get that, man. Let me look around here and see what. I don't know. I've kind of kept the shop cleaned up a little bit right now. Since I finished, when I was working on this leather deal, and I had things everywhere. And so I spent some time getting the place cleaned up, kind of in order. I don't have random scraps and bits and things around right now. We're in a pretty decent spot to be able to just start a next project. It's kind of nice going into a new project, not having a whole scattered space. Burnaby says, very cool to see what you make when you're familiarized with the printer. Yeah, I am excited as well. I know I have one particular thing in mind. If you saw the guitar neck jig that I made last weekend, I'm making those the cams that go on either end. I want to make a whole bunch of those, or at least a handful of different ones with different profiles and things, so I can swap them out to make different neck contours. And I feel like that's going to be probably one of the better ways to make those. But again, I have to learn how to model it up. Yes, it's not a very complicated model, but when I know absolutely zero about modeling software, so I've been immersing myself in a course, and as well as tons and tons of YouTube videos, which I probably could. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. When you need to when you need to learn something, I learn a lot from YouTube, but you don't always feel invested in it. So, like, I purchased a course, not a very in-depth course for Fusion, but it's enough to get me invested in it, right? So that I will spend the time to learn. Do you guys ever get something like that? From there, I will watch videos, look up particular topics and things to get more in-depth. But it's like when you purchase a course, you feel more tied to it, right? You can learn all that stuff through watching YouTube videos. But for some reason, buying a course, going through that, you feel more vested in it. Does that make sense? Mr. Doughboy, hey Jeff, what's up, man? Harry Dude says, can you put different cams in your neck? I've got to figure that out. I think you can. It's going to be a very flat. I got to figure out the math, but I believe you can, and I will definitely try that for sure. I've already been working through that in my brain, how that operation is going to go and how I need to shape the cams. So, yes, I'm going to say yes, although I haven't done it yet. I know the cams. I know I can swap out the cams. The problem is it's going to, obviously it has to rotate very little. I don't know if I can get that little of a rotation out of my version of this jig, but we'll see because I want to try that. But what I think it will work. I think it'll work. What I'm going to do is basically build different models of the neck. There's charts out there, Gibson, whatever. You know what I mean? There's different charts that I've seen, and what I want to do basically is take take a handful of the ones, and a few that I personally like, and model the cam. So when I built the jig, the design was just a round cam, and then you have to custom shape the top. But I want to take this profile and basically plug it onto the top. So the rest of the cam doesn't really matter, but it's just that top piece, and they'll have the different profiles on there. And I think as long as I get it right, so it's almost going to be the way I kind of envision it for the fretboard radius. If I use the current cam that I have, right, the bottom is going to be a half round, and from the midpoint is going to be the fretboard radius. I think it's going to be almost a flat cam. I don't know if it's going to let it go up high enough. I may need to extend those slots or lower the bearings. I'm not sure yet. The slots so the carriage comes up high enough, because that cam's going to be almost flat by the time you put a radius on there. So I got to play around with it. Maybe I can space it out. That might work too. I got to play around with it a little bit. And like I said, there was a lot of me understanding the process. I didn't fully understand exactly how it worked. Now I know how it works. And there's I got to understand the limitations, if any. And I do already know that there's going to be a version 2. I'm going to do my own version of that. This is another project where, like I was just talking about, software. This is one of those projects where I purchased the plans for this from Temple Guitars. Not sponsored. I purchased them. But that got me more vested in it. I've liked these jigs for a long time, but I didn't understand it enough to build my own. But actually getting a set of plans, putting it together, now I know how this works. Now the sky's the limit. Really, I'm going to build one that will do both guitar and bass. So it's going to be longer, different sets of cams, profiles, different blocks. There's just, the sky's the limit, really. If you really get to where you want to be able to customize things. Sam Packin, hey, good morning. What did I miss? You missed everything, man. No, I'm kidding. Welcome. Burnaby, like everything else, you need to get your feet wet. Just my thought. Yeah, that's what I agree. Yep. So you just got to jump in. You got to leap in. Sam Packin, the neck jig. Yes. That's what we're chatting about here. We're ready to wrap this up. Get back inside here in just a few minutes. Make sure Haley gets back on class in time. I'm not too worried. She's really good. She's wild, and she's been doing great. We'll see. I'll wrap this up here. Just a minute. But anyway, guys, yeah, that being said, about time. As much as I'd love to sit here and chat with you guys, we need to throw in the towel on this one. So, I want to say thank you to you guys for taking time out of your day to hang out with me in my little workshop here. And I hope that your day is awesome. You guys are all doing great. Hope you get some time to spend with friends, family. Although it's that's harder to do these days, but I hope you get to. Hope you get to spend some time in your workshop, building some things, working on something. If you don't have a workshop, hope you get to make whatever at your table, at whatever. Get out there, learn something new. Learn something new. Like I've said in that video a while back, now's the time. That's what I said about Fusion. And now I can sort of model some things in Fusion. We're getting there. But don't be afraid. Jump in. Learn something new. And, some of us have more, not free time, but some of us have more idle time now. And it's a great time to, to learn something new. Learn that piece of software. Take up that wood carving that you wanted to do, or whatever it is. Don't be afraid to jump in and make something. Also, I want to hear from you guys next week. If you can tune in, we'll be on Facebook next week. What are you making what have you made for holidays? So keep that in mind. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you next week. Sam Packin says, sorry I missed it. It's so good, my friend. Don't worry about it. Hey, dude. Stay safe, folks. Catch you next week. Right on, guys. Thanks a lot. And we will talk to you later. Appreciate you. Where's that X? There it is. Thanks, guys. Stay safe. Stay well.